Hi everyone, I hope you are well. We are going to do another flow this week. We're going to keep it nice and gentle. And I have one prop that we're going to be using this week, and it is a blanket. A nice prop to use, eh? So this blanket is because there's going to be quite a lot of things down on the knees, and notoriously yoga mats are just not thick enough. So sometimes having that little extra support underneath the legs is quite good. So this blanket can be used for a little bit yeah, just gaining a little bit more gentleness underneath those legs. You can also use a cushion, and we are also going to be using this for one particular pose that we're going to place it underneath the spine when we come to lay down. So if you haven't got a blanket, if it's just a small cushion or something soft, that would be wonderful. But please don't worry if you don't have anything. And just like I said, we're going to keep it nice and gentle. I hope you've been enjoying the session so far. Again, please let me know if there's anything you would like to work on, and I'll be sure to include that each week. So, when you are ready, we are going to come to a nice comfortable seat on our mat. And we're just going to start to settle in and focus on our breath. So I'm not sure whether you're doing this in the morning or the evening, and what you've done before coming onto the mat with me today. So let's just take a moment to let go of what's been and have no expectation for what's to come. Just take a nice roll of those shoulders a couple of times. And if you feel comfortable to do so, you can begin to close off the eyes, or maybe just look down towards the floor and just take a nice soft gaze. When you feel ready, you can just allow the body to find some stillness. Just take a nice big breath in through the nose. And let it go out the mouth. Doing that again as you breathe in, really fill up the belly, open up that rib cage, really filling up the body as you breathe in. And as you breathe out, let everything go. Might even feel nice to do a little sigh as you do this. Let's do that one more time. Nice big breath in. As you breathe out, gentle and relaxed. Let it go. Just make, before we start to move the body, just notice how the body is feeling. So we call this little body scan. Just maybe noticing any areas in the body where you might be holding some tension, any areas that might feel a little bit uncomfortable. Just please be kind to yourself during this practice. Your body does some amazing things. Sometimes it does get tired too. So let's just show it some love. Allow it to move how it needs to today. So if that means that you need to pause and rest, take a seat or a child's pose, please do. Always put me on pause. This is the great thing about recordings. When you're ready, you can gently blink those eyes open. And we're going to come into a wide-legged child's pose this time. You're going to take those knees out slightly wider than we're used to, because usually in our child's pose we have our knees together. We're going to have them out a little bit wider. This is so that we can rest the belly and the chest down towards the ground and open out through those hips a bit more. And this is where you can use that blanket, because you can pop it underneath the heels and the bottom, so that it has a little bit of extra cushioning, but also so that you haven't got to worry about if your bottom doesn't come down towards your heels. You're just finding that nice relaxation in this posture. So let's just roll those shoulders back, take a nice big breath in as we look up towards the ceiling. Then as we breathe out, just start to walk those hands down towards them. And then you can melt that forehead down to the ground. And just try and soften through those shoulders. Just start to relax that bottom back towards the heels. Maybe those big toes come and touch together. And again, just like we did seated, as we breathe in, can you really feel that rib cage begin to expand? And as you breathe out, can you allow your body to find a little more heaviness as it sinks lower into the ground? Doing that just exactly as you did for one more breath in and a breath out. And this time as you breathe in, you're going to peel the head and chest off the floor. And keeping the lower body exactly where it is, you're going to walk the hands over to the left side. And then you're going to melt the body back down towards the ground. So we're just opening out through the side of the body. So you hopefully should feel a nice big stretch down the right side. And what you want to do is you want to almost feel like you can press that right armpit down towards the floor. It won't touch but just by guiding it and thinking of drawing that armpit down, you deepen that stretch in your body. And then just evenly push back through those heels. Take one more breath in here. And as you breathe in, just lift the head and chest. Walk those hands back through to center. And as you breathe out, walking over to the opposite side and melting that head back down towards the ground. So this time you almost want to press that left armpit down towards there. And just again, soften through those shoulders. Opening through the ribs as you breathe in. And releasing through that lower back as you breathe out. One more breath here. And then as you breathe in, come all the way up, walking those hands back through to center. Melt that head and chest just one more time. When you're ready, we're going to slowly peel our body all the way up, finding our table pose. So just coming onto hands and knees here. So just taking a moment to settle into your table. And we're going to come into our cat and our cows that we have been doing the last couple of sessions. So as we breathe in, we lift our tailbone, we drop our belly, and we lift our head. Now, I must apologise, I can't lift my head too much today. I have a problem in my shoulder this morning, so I do apologise. But lifting the head to where feels comfortable. And then as you breathe out, you want to round that belly all the way in, pushing through the ground with those palms and really drawing that belly button in and up as you dome through that upper back, really stretching out that back body. Lovely, let's do that again. Nice big breath in as we lift the chest, lift the tailbone. And as we breathe out, rounding it all the way. Lovely, once more, breathing in. And breathe. Fantastic. And then just find that nice flat back once again. Now this time you're going to keep the lower body exactly where it is. So we're not going to lower the bottom to the heels like we did in our child's. We're going to try something called a puppy stretch. And this is where you're going to walk those hands slightly further out in front of you. And just like a playful puppy does, you're going to melt that chest down towards the ground whilst you keep lifting up high through that bottom. And depending on how the shoulders and the neck feel today, you can either melt the head down towards the floor, or you can bring that chin as well as the chest down towards the mat. And you can just look forward through those fingers if your chin is on the ground. Just like that playful puppy that's about to pounce. So this is a lovely big opening for our shoulders. So please be gentle to yourselves. I'm trying to take my own advice here as well. Lovely. Hold for one more breath. Lovely. And this time, our body stays exactly where it is, but our arms are going to move. It's going to take those elbows out slightly wider. Then we're going to draw the palms together just in front of that head. We're going to create like a little shark fin here. So we're going to draw those palms back behind the head as maybe the thumb presses into the base of the neck. And we're just going to stretch a little bit deeper into those arms. So hopefully you'll feel this in the back of the tricep. It might deepen that stretch into your shoulders. If this does not feel comfortable, just keep the arms out and stay in that regular puppy pose. This can be quite a big one, but it does feel really good afterwards. Take one more breath here, drawing that navel in. And as you breathe out, release those hands back down to the floor. Great job. And then once again, as you breathe in, you're going to lift all the way back up into that table. I hope you're feeling okay. Well done. So we're going to keep opening through that upper body. Now I'm going to keep turning just so that you can see it from different angles so that I can hopefully show you how to get into it correctly. But you guys stay exactly where you are. So we're going to bring our left hand just underneath the nose, so into the center. This is going to be our supporting hand. And then as you breathe in, we're going to reach that right arm up towards the sky. So we're doing like a little twist, but our lower body stays exactly where it is. So we're going to try something called a thread the needle here. And this is where this top hand is then going to come all the way in and under that left arm. And you're going to keep sending it all the way out until your right shoulder and your right ear come down to the floor. And then that left hand can just come a little bit further out in front of the head as a little bit of a support. So I'm going to show you just from a different angle just so that you can see. So my left hand is in the center, my right hand has come up towards the sky. So I'm taking that nice big opening. Then as I breathe out, I thread it in and under my left arm, my right ear and my right shoulder come down to the floor, and my left hand just stays there as a support. So this is a nice big stretch for that shoulder, so our right shoulder that's down on the ground. But even though it's a big stretch, it's nice and gentle at the same time. If you feel you can and you want to take it a little bit deeper, you can then, as you breathe in, reach that left arm up towards the sky. And as you breathe out, you can place it on that lower back. Or you can see if you can even reach around and take a hold of your right thigh. Now this is what we call a little bind here. So this is a big one for opening out through those shoulders and the chest and the arms. And if you're here, just allow the gaze to just softly focus on something. Take one more breath in here. And if you had that left hand behind you, as you breathe in, you're going to reach it all the way back up towards the ceiling. You're going to place it into the floor. And then as you take another breath in, you're going to reach that right arm back up towards the sky. And you're going to place it back down towards the ground. Lovely, well done, guys. Let's try that on the other side. I'm going to come back to the side again. So let's go for the other side. So bringing that right hand underneath the nose. And as you breathe in, soar that left arm up to the sky. Apologies, my arm won't go as high this side. And as you breathe out, you're going to bring it all the way behind that right arm until that left shoulder and left ear come down to the ground. And just like we did before, now our right hand is that supporting hand. And you can keep it here and take it out a bit further in front of you. You can even look underneath that armpit, spider those fingers if that feels good. Or maybe we do what we did on the on the right side. And as we breathe in, we draw that right arm to the sky. And as we breathe out, maybe you place it on that lower back. Or maybe you can reach all the way around and take a hold of that left thigh. Remember, listen to your body. Don't worry what my body's doing or what anybody else's body's doing. As long as it feels good and you feel a stretch, you're doing amazing. Take one more breath. Yeah. Have that right arm behind. As you breathe in, press it back up into the sky. As you breathe out, push it into the earth. Then as you breathe in again, you reach that left arm up towards the ceiling. And as you breathe out, down. Really good job. Well done, guys. And you're going to draw that bottom all the way back towards those heels. We're going to take a regular child's pose here with our knees closer together and our arms just wrapping around the sides. So we're just releasing through that back body that we've started to stretch because we're going to make it a little bit deeper. So all those poses, the child's pose, the puppy pose, and the thread the needle pose, we're almost going to try and link them all together to do this next pose. But don't worry, we're going to take it nice and slowly. And when you're ready, as you breathe in, we're going to just lift that head and chest off the ground. Nice, take a nice big shoulder roll. Take a nice big breath. Yeah. So I'm going to show you how we're going to adapt that a little. Again, I may be turning my body, but you stay exactly where you are. We're going to find that table pose. So taking a nice big breath in here as we settle in. We're going to draw that left hand into the center once again. But this time, you're going to kick that left leg out to the side. So you want it, I'm going to turn to the front now so that you can see. So can you see my left foot is now out to the side, but it's in line with my right knee. So that's what we want to try and create. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to reach that right arm back up to the sky. Now, you'll notice it won't go as high as it did the first time round. This is because we've obviously got that left leg out. So don't worry, it's still keeping that stretch. As you breathe out, you're going to thread that right arm, just like we did before, in and underneath that left arm. You're going to bring that right shoulder and right ear down to the floor. And that left hand can maybe be a bit of a support. You're going to keep pushing down through those right baby toes, if that feels okay to do so. And then just like we did, we're going to take a nice big breath in. We're going to reach that left arm up towards the sky. You may notice this one will now take a little bit more space and it will open out a little bit more. And as you breathe out, you can place it on the spine or you can take a hold of that right thigh. So for this one, we are really working the entire body. So if you are with me, fantastic job, well done. And if you choose to take the regular thread the needle pose that we just did, well done also, because it means you're listening to what your body needs. Hold it for one more breath. And if that left arm's behind, breathing in, send it up towards the sky once again. Breathing out, pushing into the floor. Big breath in, reach that right arm back up. And as you breathe in, placing that right hand back down. Now this time we're going to draw that bottom back. So we're going to bring that right foot in slightly so that when we draw our bottom back, it will come behind that right foot. So it's almost like a little magic trick there. So we're going to bring that sole of the right foot to the inside of that long left leg. We're going to take a nice little forward fold here. So we're going to turn so our belly is facing down towards that left leg. So as you breathe in, send those arms up towards the sky. And as you breathe out, we're going to take a very gentle forward fold over those legs. Now, why I say gentle is because sometimes we feel we need to hold on to our toes and yank our body down into this stretch. But actually, what I'd like you to do is have your palms shining up towards the ceiling so that we're not pulling ourselves down. We're just allowing the weight of our body to deepen ourselves into this stretch. Then let that head become nice and heavy. So maybe wiggling those shoulders if that feels good to do so. Just so we're letting go of any tension. And then just take a nice big breath in. And a big sigh out. So we're going to go, ah. Maybe notice if your body melts a little bit more. Let's do that one more time. Nice big breath in. And as you breathe out, sigh it out. And on your next big breath in, you're going to start to roll right up. Fantastic job, guys. So my right leg is bent. my right arm is going to come behind. This is my supporting hand. Now, if you would like to, for this big full body stretch, you can stay sitting down and you can reach that left arm all the way up and over. So you're literally stretching from those left toes all the way up towards those left fingers. So your whole body is opening. But if you would like to take it a little bit further, what we're going to do is, as we breathe in, we're going to almost create a nice big arch shape with that left arm. As we then push into that right knee, those left toes, and we then bring our left arm all the way up and over our head. So our whole body is now taking that nice big arch shape. And if you're here, or whether you're sat on the floor, see if you can look up towards the ceiling, keeping that chest nice and proud and nice and open. And as you breathe out, if you're up high, you're going to bring that bottom down to the floor. And then we're all going to create that nice big windmill pose. And now our right hand is going to come up and over there. Lovely. So we're going to do that 2 more times, but moving with our breath. So big breath in as we create those nice big windmill arms, pushing into the ground if we're lifting. As we breathe out, send those hips forward as we reach those left fingers. As we breathe out, bring that bottom down and create that nice big arch with the right arm this time. Once more, big breath in. Maybe notice if you can really make it nice and big here. And as you breathe out, drawing it all the way down, and pausing here for a moment. Remember, those fingers don't have to be anywhere near those toes. And come. Lovely. Do a nice big shoulder roll backwards. And we're going to make our way back onto our table. So into our table, should I say, onto our hands and our knees. And we're going to repeat that on the opposite side. So I will turn and face forward, just so that you can see. So we did our left side first. We're now going to stretch our right leg out to the side. And again, just check in to see if those toes are in line with that that knee, just so that we're not working too much if our toes are too far forward, and the same if they're too far back. And as we breathe in, we're going to reach that right arm up. We're going to reach that left arm up towards the sky. And as we breathe out, we're going to thread that left arm in and under as that right arm supports us, pushing down through that right baby toe. So we're really stretching through that right leg. And then maybe as you breathe in, that right arm reaches up to the sky. And as you breathe out, you maybe touch the bottom of the back, or maybe you reach around and take a hold of that left. We're really stretching the whole body today, guys, so you're doing amazing. Well done. And anytime you need to rest, please just pop it on pause. I'll be here when you're ready. If your right arm is binded, as you breathe in, reach it back up towards the ceiling. And as you breathe out, placing it into the ground. And as you breathe in again, reach that left arm up towards the sky. And as you breathe out, this is where we're then going to bring that left foot in slightly, so that when we bring our bottom down to the floor, the sole of our left foot is on the inside of our right thigh. Let's just sit up nice and tall. So I call this moving the goodness out from underneath you, so that our sit-up bones are completely connected to the ground. Turning that belly button so it's facing down that right leg. Nice big breath in, reaching those arms to the sky. And as you breathe out, folding over the body. Again, palm shine up towards the ceiling. Maybe you shake that head a couple of times, and maybe you take a little nod. Let's take those 2 sighing breaths once again. So breathing in, sighing out. Let the body go. Once more, big breath in. And a big breath out. And slowly start to peel that upper body all the way back up. This time our left hand comes behind us here. So remember, you can take that nice big full body stretch sitting down. You're still opening that body here. So remember, this is still the same movement that we are creating. It's still the same stretch. If not, you can come with me for that full baby wild thing. And as we breathe in, we step up onto our right toes and we press into that left knee. And we reach that right arm all the way up and back as we push those hips forward. And as you breathe out, bringing it back down to the ground. And now bringing that left arm all the way up and over. As maybe it comes and touches those toes, or maybe it hovers. Lovely, let's move with the breath twice more. Big breath in, create that nice big arch. Really be expressive with this movement. Feels great to open this whole body up. And as we breathe out, bring it all the way back down, over. Last time here, big breath in. And a big breath out. Pause there for a moment. And let's find a nice cross-legged position here. Let's take a little bit of gentle movement into the upper body as we've really stretched and opened it. So just interlace those fingers into the lap. Big breath in as we draw those hands up towards the chin. And as you breathe out, bringing it out. Big breath in as you send the palms forward and above the head. As you breathe out, open those arms out nice. Lovely, going to do that twice more. Big breath in. Breathing out. Big breath in as the arms rise. Breathing out as we send. Lovely. They're going to just take those legs out nice and wide. And if you can, flex through those toes and send those toes up towards the ceiling. We're going to try and send a stretch down the inside of our legs now. As I said, this is going to be a real full body stretch today. So taking those legs as wide as feels comfortable for you. And I'll show you from this side as well. So we're going to try and sit up nice and tall here as we're doing this. We're going to use our hands as a support. So just pressing those fingertips into the ground behind you. Just tip that pelvis and tuck in the belly button here. This just lengthens that spine a bit more. Roll those shoulders back and open through the chest. Maybe look up towards the ceiling. Just take one more breath. You can stay here. This feels good. You can maybe walk those fingers forward a little bit towards the body, as the chest starts to come forward. Or maybe you bring those hands to the center of the legs. You just creep them a little bit further forward. Then when you get to that point where you can't stretch any further, let that back round and let that head become nice and heavy. Still try and flex through those toes. Hope you're feeling a nice big stretch on the inside of those legs. We're going to come back onto those hands and knees to win our table pose. But before we get there, just tuck those knees in towards the chest, wrapping the arms around the legs, just resting the head upon the knees, just taking a nice rest here for a moment. Just allowing that back body to release. When you're ready, I will meet you in that tabletop pose. So this is why I said you might want a blanket today, because there's lots on the knees today, guys. And there's also lots of nice big arches. I maybe should have called this rainbow class. So we're now going to try a little plank pose. So a little modified plank pose. So do you remember before where we stretched out one leg to the side? We're now going to do that exact same movement. So if I face forward once again. So we're going to stretch that right leg out to the side, just like we did before. Just make sure that it's not too far ahead or too far back. And then when it's in that nice comfortable position, you're going to walk those hands in and maybe come up onto those knees. If you're staying sitting down for this one, you can have that knee bent and then just stretch the other leg out to the side. And you can take those nice side movements each way, okay? You can do it each way if it feels better to stay sitting on the floor. If you're with me and you're up on those knees, what we're going to do is the same arm the leg that is straight, the same arm is going to be straight. And then as we breathe in, the left arm is going to soar up towards the ceiling. So you see how we're keeping those nice big arch shapes. And then as we breathe out, we're going to just gently stretch over to that right side. This is really opening out through that side body. See if you can reach those left fingers as far away from you as you can. And as you breathe out like those nice big windmill arms that we've been using, those left fingers are now going to come down to the floor as that right arm reaches up towards the sky. And we can test our balance here. If our palm can come into the ground, then going to see if we can pop that right leg up. Nice. Are you still breathing? Can you maybe bring a smile to your face? Well done. Hold for one more breath. And as you breathe out, pop that right foot back down. As you then windmill those arms all the way back through into center and bring those palms back down to the floor. Lovely. Let's switch sides. So bringing that right knee in, stretching that left leg out. As you breathe in, coming up onto that right knee now. And remember, if you're seated, you just switch legs and you bring the other leg in. And we're going to stretch each side as well. So lovely. This time our left leg is out strong and straight and long. Stretch that left arm down. Can't get my words out today. Nice big breath in. Reach that right arm up towards the ceiling. And as you breathe out, take that nice big side bend over to the left this time. Breathing in here, stretching those fingers away. And as you breathe out, create that nice big windmill pose as those right fingers come down and that left arm reaches up. And maybe here, once again, that left foot pops off. Still smile on this side. Nice big breath in. And as you breathe out, pop those left toes back down as we windmill. Lovely. Bring those knees together. Let's all take a child's pose here. Lovely. You guys are truly doing amazing. Well done. Take one more breath. Slowly begin to roll. Lovely. You're ready to keep going into the lower part of the body. So your body is really going to love you after this, I do promise. So we're going to come into that table pose again. Okay, this is just a nice way to transition in. So where we've been bringing one hand to the center as a support, this time you're going to do it with the knee. So I'm going to bring my left knee in to the center. Again, I'll show you from both angles. And then you're going to stretch that right leg back. You're then going to bend into that knee and swoop it over to the left. So now that right knee comes behind the left knee. You're then going to send those feet away and we will push back. I'll show you from the front as well. So I bring my left knee into center slightly. I stretch my right leg away, swoop it all the way behind, bring it behind that left knee, and then I can maybe walk those hands in and stretch back here. And I may keep it here. This might be enough. Or I may come and bring my bottom all the way down in between my feet, taking that full shoelace pose. So we've got our legs stacked here. So be kind because this is a big one for the legs. Okay, so those feet are just out to the side, our bottom is in the center, and our knees are stacked on top of each other. Let's take a nice big breath and reach those arms to the sky. And as you breathe out, we're going to fold over these legs. Now, we may not go very far because, as I said, this is a really big stretch for the lower part of the body. Just let that head become nice and heavy. Breathe here with it. One more breath. You then start to walk those hands all the way back in. We're going to repeat that on the other side. Now I can show you how to get into it again from that table, or if you'd like to come with a little twisty move to maneuver so we get the other leg on top, I will show you how. So my left leg is on top. I'm going to turn towards those left toes. So I'm going to bring my fingers towards those left toes. I'm then going to twizzle and bring myself up onto my feet as I spin all the way around. And then when I sit back down, my right knee is going to be on top of my neck. That may not work at all. It's your first time doing it, but even to just give it a try, well done, amazing. If you would like me to show you again how to get into it from table, what we're going to do this time is we're going to bring our right knee into the center. We're going to step that left leg back. We're going to swing it all the way around to the right side, bringing that right knee behind us, opening those feet, stretching that body back, and maybe bringing our bottom in between the feet as our legs stack. Okay. Nice big breath in here. And as we breathe out, folding over the body on this side. Lovely. One breath. Those hands all the way. Uncrossing those legs, bending at the knees, and just taking that little hug once more. Let's find that table pose once again. But this time we're going to tuck those toes under. We're going to lift that bottom to the sky. We're going to find our first downward dog. Just pedal out through those feet, bending into one knee and the other. Or just releasing through that head. It might feel nice to come up onto the feet instead of the knees. Lovely. We're going to take something now called a pigeon pose. Oh, there's a pigeon on my balcony right now. So for this one, we're going to stretch our right leg up towards the sky. Now you can do this in table as well. So if you're in table, you just reach one leg up towards the sky. And then as we breathe out, we're going to guide that right knee behind the right wrist. So I'll show you from downward dog. So if our right leg is up towards the sky, we then bend that right leg and we draw that right knee behind the right wrist and we stretch that left leg behind us. So we've got one leg bent and one leg stretched. Now you can always pop that blanket underneath the bottom here as like a little extra cushioning. And then what we're going to do is we're going to melt that upper body down towards the floor. If it feels nice to keep it up here, please do. If not, just allow that body to just gently melt down towards them. We'll do those sighing breaths once again, as this helps just release any rigidity that we're holding in our body and allows the breath to keep flowing. It's a nice big breath in. Sigh it out. One more here, big breath in. And this time as you breathe in, if you're down on the forearms, you're going to come back up onto the hands. You're going to tuck those toes under on the left side, popping that left knee off the floor. And then you're going to step back into that downward dog, or coming into that table, whichever one you prefer to do today. Lovely. Take a nice big breath in here. Open the mouth, let it go. Let's do that same thing on the left side. So this time, left leg draws up towards the sky. And as you breathe out, you're going to bend that left knee, bringing that left knee behind the left wrist and stretching that right leg back and tucking into it. So one bent leg, one straight leg. Big breath in, holding it up here if that feels good. Or as you breathe out, coming down to the forearms on this side. Lovely. Let's take those two sighing breaths. Breathe. Lovely. One more big breath in. And as you breathe in, coming back up onto those hands if you're not already, tucking the toes under on that right side, popping that right knee off the floor, and then stepping back into that downward facing dog. Taking the pedal, bring those knees down to the ground, and sweep those feet out from underneath you. Well done, amazing. Now we're all going to use our blanket here. We're going to come into something called a legs up for wall pose. Now for this one, what we're going to do is we're going to come down to our backs. And with that blanket, we're going to bring it underneath the lower spine and the bottom here. It's going to just lift and tilt our pelvis slightly. Okay, should feel quite comfortable underneath the back. And then when it's in a nice good spot, just hug those knees and then as you breathe out, you're going to send those legs up towards the ceiling. And our palms can either face down towards the floor down by our sides, or it might feel nice to reach those arms up and over the head as we open out the whole. Now we're going to try and let those legs become nice and heavy. So not getting them to do anything, not forcing them to go straight by locking out our knees, not worrying whether our toes are pointed or flexed, just allowing them to relax. Allowing the belly to become soft. We can spend so much time sitting up, around, or sitting in our chairs. We sat upright quite a lot. It's not very often we can have our legs up in the air like this. This is a wonderful, relaxing pose for our bodies, our minds, our nervous system, and also our beautiful hearts. As the blood begins to flow in a different direction, the heart begins to rest. So the longer you can stay in this pose, better. It's called legs up because generally do it where your legs are rested up against the wall here. Therefore, the wall is taking weight of the body. Literally just melt. Hold for as long as you. But I wasn't sure whether you'd have a spine. So I thought if we do a little lift here, I'm able to show you that maybe do this at another time when you are next to it. Let's just take 2 more breaths here. Again, really trying to fill up the body as you in. So you go as you go down. And so gently starting to bend through the take it slow. Planting those feet down towards the ground. Pushing into the soles of the feet, allowing those palms to come down by your side, lifting the hips as you just shimmy that blanket over to one side. We're going to come into our relaxation soon, so you may want to have it close by. Just hug those knees in towards the chest and do a little rock from side to side. Just finish with a little gentle twist. So bring the soles of the feet down to the floor, open those arms to a nice big T, and let both knees fall over to the right side as the shoulders melt into the ground and you look up towards the ceiling. Or maybe allow the head to just fall over to the left. Just allowing them to relax after those nice big opening stretches that we've just done. Big breath in as we draw our knees back and root to center. And as we breathe out, allowing them to fall over to the opposite side. And maybe the head. So drawing those knees back to center. As you breathe out, just give yourself a little squeeze. Maybe the back of the head feels on. As you breathe out, taking those legs out nice and far. Maybe reaching for your blanket or cushion, have both. You can either get yourself cozy by wrapping yourself up in a blanket, using it as a pillow. Just get yourself nice and comfortable. Allowing the legs to come out nice and long, trying not to cross the legs. Allowing those hands to come down by your sides, palms shining up towards the ceiling. Maybe do a little wriggle of those shoulders as they melt back into the tuck of that chin so the back of the neck is nice. Take a nice full breath in, filling up that belly. Let's sigh it all out together. Maybe begin to close down. Maybe taking that body scan once more. Noticing the body stretch it out. It's not just your physical change, emotional as well. Feel. Don't worry if it's changed at all. Showed up on your mat today. Your body tension. See, as long as you see that breath. Taking your time to gently roll side, no rush. Slowly, time maybe keep eyes closed. All the way back up to seat. Rolling those shoulders backwards again. So finish with 3 breaths together. Big breath as we spread the arms out. Feet as we draw twice more big breath in. Next one. Hands to rest by the heart, the chin to drop to the chest. bring a smile to your face. So much, guys. I hope you enjoyed that. I will look forward to seeing you again next week. Take care. Enjoy the rest of your week. See you soon.